Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Scott McTominay admits Man United dressing room talks have been held about the team's inconsistency. Manchester United midfielder Scott McTominay has admitted that he and his teammates regularly talk about their lack of consistency and how they can address the issue. McTominay spoke to club media after United's 2-1 win against Chelsea at Old Trafford. The Scotland international's sensational brace ensured the Red Devils clinched all 3 points and got back to winning ways after their previous disappointing display against Newcastle. Before the Chelsea match, reports started swirling about a faction inside the dressing room that had grown disillusioned with Erik Tan Haag and his tactics. During his post-match media obligations, Sufyan Amrabat seemed to dismiss such suggestions, and so did McTominay, who instead emphasized the need to be more consistent on the pitch. McTominay told MUTV via Manchester Evening News, "It was a game that we had to come out and show to the fans. Our full focus was on the match. We wanted to give a reaction, but it has to be like that every week, which is something we speak about in the dressing room. It can't just be one game when we have to react. We have to show that every week. We know the fans are extremely demanding, and so are we as players, so that's what we expect. Going back to the Newcastle game, we know that wasn't good enough, and that is still sticking us. We can't have those anomalies when we go somewhere and we don't play like we can. Maybe not showing as much fight as we should, but tonight is a building block and we can take it step by step without getting carried away." At the moment, the Carrington Academy graduate is United's top goal scorer with 6 goals. When asked about this, McTominay explained that it's something he wants to keep up and build on for the rest of the campaign. He added, "My mom and dad have always said get in the box and try to score goals. My granddad says it too. I couldn't believe it, not scoring a hat-trick. I'm fuming, but that's football." Man United confirm Amad Diallo has returned to full training ahead of Bournemouth game. Manchester United have confirmed that Amad Diallo has returned to full training with the first team squad ahead of the Premier League clash against Bournemouth on Saturday. The Ivory Coast international had an impressive long stint with Sunderland in the Championship last season, where he registered 14 goals and provided 4 assists in all competitions. It was predicted that he could break into manager Erik Tan Haag's plans this term, but he unfortunately got injured during the preseason friendly against Arsenal in the United States. Diallo was an unused substitute in the subsequent game against Real Madrid, but it was confirmed thereafter that he would miss the first part of the season due to a knee surgery. The winger was recently back on the grass as part of the rehabilitation, and United have now revealed that he is working with the first team ahead of the Cherries' visit to Old Trafford. The former Atalanta graduate had a productive loan spell with the Black Cats, and the next step should be to establish himself as a regular with the first team at the Red Devils. That is easier said than done, considering the vast competition for places. Anthony and Facundo Pellistri started the campaign as the regular candidates on the right wing. There is now further competition from Marcus Rashford, considering Alejandro Garnacho has cemented his spot on the left wing with 3 goal contributions in 4 games. Diallo, who joined United for an overall package of £37.2 million, may not start anytime soon. In our view, he could get minutes with the development squad before returning to senior action. There is a good possibility that he could be loaned out at the turn of the year. The Red Devils may prefer sending him out to a Premier League side, but Feyenoord could be an option too. United boss Erik Tan Haag shuts the door on a January reinforcement. Manchester United won't be dipping into their limited budget to reinforce the squad in the January transfer window, despite their on-field struggles this season. That's according to club manager Erik Tan Haag, who is wary of the slim chances of attracting top players in the winter market and would rather improve what's available on his roster. United could do with another striker, considering Anthony Martial and Rasmus Højlund have been ineffective in the Premier League. A right winger to compete with the massively underwhelming Anthony could also bolster a squad which is also in dire need of reinforcement in the heart of the defense. The need to undertake a squad rebuild is evident and emphasized by the trajectory of United's campaign thus far, but Ten Hag would rather develop his current team and wait until the summer, and for good reason. Ten Hag went on to say, when asked about the possible January signings, the following: I don't think so. We have to develop and progress this team. In reality, we go to the next summer window and there will be new players coming in. As a club, you have to look for improvement. So if you can find better and it's realistic financially and with financial fair play, I think the club has to go with it. But realistically, in relation to the market, most of the time you don't attract the best players in the winter. The top players will not leave their clubs in the winter. It's players who are disappointed, injured, or just not the right fit or whatever. United returned to winning ways with a convincing 2-1 victory over Chelsea, putting them just 3 points off the Champions League places. Considering the Red Devils stand to take their foot off the gas when gaining momentum, it's up to Tan Hag to ensure his side builds on their midweek win at home to Bournemouth this weekend. Juventus could interest in exiled Man United star Jadon Sancho due to financial concerns. Juventus have halted their pursuit of Manchester United outcast Jadon Sancho due to financial limitations, according to Italian news outlet Tuttosport. The England international is still searching for an escape route out of Old Trafford following a public fallout with manager Erik Tan Haag, who exiled him from the first team facilities to protect squad harmony. Interest from Juventus offered Sancho a glimmer of hope, but that has been snatched away by the club's financial turmoil, which has foiled plans to sign him in the January transfer window. The Italian club have deemed Sancho too expensive for their constrained budget, with the club leaning up cheaper alternatives as the winter market approach. Juventus had indicated a desire to sign Sancho on a temporary deal in January, but United demanded they contribute 70% of the winger's wages to facilitate a deal, despite spending the better part of the last 4 months on the sidelines. Sancho continues to pocket around £350,000 in weekly wages, making him one of United's highest earners. While United are more than willing to cut Sancho loose in January, their loan demands have complicated the prospect of a move to Juventus, who are already looking elsewhere for attacking reinforcement. Meanwhile, reports have circled this week claiming under fire Ten Hag has lost half the dressing room at United, with a handful of senior players expressing dissatisfaction with his handling of the Sancho situation. Although they failed to categorically deny those reports, United responded by banning several high-profile journalists from Ten Hag's press conference on Tuesday. United defeated Chelsea on Wednesday evening to edge closer to the top four and will be eager to follow up against Bournemouth this weekend. Sufyan Amrabat produces his best Man United display versus Chelsea. Moroccan star Sufyan Amrabat produced his best performance in a Manchester United shirt during the 2-1 win over Chelsea in the Premier League. The 27-year-old has endured a tough start to his career with the Red Devils. He has found himself in and out of the starting lineup under manager Erik Ten Hag. He was picked ahead of Kobbie Mainoo in the defensive midfield role and left his mark with a dominant display against Enzo Fernandez, Moses Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. Emrabat played like his old self at Fiorentina and controlled the proceedings in the center of the park. He had 62 touches with a passing accuracy of 92%. In the defensive point of view, he won 6 duels and 4 tackles, winning 100% of his dribbles, 2 out of 2. The midfielder also made 11 ball recoveries during the game. Rabbit made one error leading to a shot on goal, but he grew in confidence as the game went on and was terrific during the second half of the encounter. It was not the perfect outing for the 30 million euros rated star, but he looked confident with the ball at his feet and should now fancy a regular run in the starting 11. The Red Devils welcome Bournemouth in the Premier League this weekend, and they must secure another victory to pick up momentum for the key matches ahead. United face a must-win outing against Bayern München in the Champions League thereafter. Their chances of making the round of 16 also depends on Copenhagen and Galatasaray sharing the spoils. This will be followed by a Merseyside League trip to face arch rivals Liverpool. Erik Tan Haag's side will want to avenge the 7-0 rout at Anfield earlier in the year. Announcement for Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Man United deal set to be delayed further due to legal structural issues. Manchester United fans are set to wait a bit longer before an official announcement to confirm Sir Jim Ratcliffe's partial investment into the club is made. A recent report covered by the People's Person relied that Sir Jim and the Glazers had made the decision to make their arrangement public in the coming days, possibly as early as next week. However, according to the reliable Daily Mail reporter Mike Keegan, there is now a strong chance that this will not happen as soon as was initially anticipated. As per Mike, a new date for the official announcement has been set. He said, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Manchester United is now expected to be announced until the week after next. Mail Sport understands that officials had hoped to broadcast the arrival of the Ineos billionaire ahead of Tuesday's Bayern München fixture at Old Trafford. However, sources in the US have disclosed that legal structural matters have pushed the date back. Keegan adds that the deal, which will essentially make Sir Jim a minority owner of United, is not in danger of falling through, and there are not thought to be any significant obstacles or concerns that would end the process. However, it's understood that fans, many of whom view Sir Jim's imminent arrival as the beginning of the end for the Glazers, could be left slightly frustrated by the constant delays and falls downs. The Mail further states that should the issues holding up the announcement persist until the upcoming Christmas break, the official communication could be paused until the turn of the year. Thus, involved hope that this will not be necessary. Man United showing interest in Borussia Dortmund winger Daniel Malen. Manchester United are showing interest in signing Borussia Dortmund winger Daniel Malen ahead of the January transfer window, according to Bild. The 24-year-old has had a mixed campaign with the Bundesliga outfit. He has registered 5 goals and 2 assists, but he has played only 1,170 minutes. The Dutchman is exploring a move away from Dortmund in the new year, and Bild claimed that the forward has a clear goal to move to England this winter. United are interested in signing the former Arsenal graduate, valued at 30 million euros, but it's reported that Dortmund could change their stance due to Jadon Sancho. The Bundesliga outfit are open to the possibility of re-signing him, and Bild mentioned that there could be a spectacular swap between the clubs too. Sancho would, however, need to accept a pay cut for any deal to materialize. Sancho has fallen out of favor under manager Erik Tan Haag since his public outburst towards the Dutchman after the Premier League loss at Arsenal. He has been suspended indefinitely, and it has been regularly reported that Tan Hag has given the green light to offload him in the next transfer window. In our view, it's unlikely that any European club will pursue a permanent deal for him, considering he has not played any competitive football for 3 months. Sancho may require at least a few weeks of team training to get up to speed. Hence, A loan deal appears the likely solution, and Dortmund could be interested. We recently covered an opinion on a potential loan swap involving Sancho and Mullen. It could realistically happen, with the latter now represented by SEG. The agency were responsible for Tan Haag's appointment at United, and they have followed it up with recent deals for Rasmus Højlund and Sofyan Amrabat. Mullen, who recently signed a contract with them, could end up at Old Trafford next month. Transfer Insider says Man United could sign 18-goal striker for just £15 million in January. Man United are in the market for a striker in January, and one transfer insider states that Erik Tan Haag could get one of the best in Europe this season for just £15 million. Many football fans would not have heard the name Serhou Guirassy before this campaign, but the striker has been on fire for Stuttgart and has helped them up to third place in the Bundesliga, 5 points from league leaders Bayer Leverkusen. The 27-year-old has scored 18 goals and assisted a further 2 across 13 matches, and it could have been more if it wasn't for a hamstring injury. This has attracted interest from several clubs, and Man United are one of the front runners for the Stuttgart star, says one transfer insider. Writing in his Football Insider column, Pete O'Rourke says the Manchester club and Newcastle are leading the race for the signature of Guirassy during the January transfer window. The journalist says that both Premier League clubs are not put off by him going to the African Cup of Nations in January, as he can be signed for just £15 million, which is the striker's release clause. This makes Guirassy a very affordable option for either club, and it would help take some of the pressure off Rasmus Højlund and Alexander Isak to score the goals for their teams. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.